Have you ever heard that to be a great teacher or to have a great teacher means that they can communicate well, they're adaptive, they're patient, they're empathic to the learner, and they're collaborative? When I did a little research on what the top qualities of teachers are, these things show up over and over again. We're going to flip these around today to see how this works when you're learning something that is so foreign, like get into a big bowl of water. Let's dive in today and flip this around so you get to be the center of the learning universe in the water. All right, number one is communication. Well, that's what I'm doing here on this YouTube channel, right? Working on ways to communicate. So of course you have to be able to communicate, express yourself to be a good teacher. But here's what I want to flip this to. It isn't so much about me communicating to you, but it's about facilitating your communication. It's about somebody asking you good questions, about having you think in your own head, how does this work for me? I thought it was like this, to reveal things so you are able to communicate. We start off talking to people about what does it really mean to swim. Now, I have a very clear definition of this, but my definition isn't particularly useful unless I can help dive into the world of you, the learner, for you to have your imagination and see there's an assumption, you're an adult, about what does it mean to learn to swim, how we can really start to communicate because we're working together on what does it mean to learn to swim. The second trait that we see universally on lists of what it makes to be a really great teacher is to be adaptable. And sometimes adaptable can be like, would you like to eat this healthy food option or this healthy food option, right? I am here to adapt to your needs to give you two healthy food options that are available, right? This is what parents do, what elementary teachers do all the time. They're adapting to the environment of the children, but giving them these very limited options. Unfortunately, we see this in swimming too, that it's like, would you like to do this particular drill or would you like to do this particular drill? I see it all the time on swim instructor groups. How can I come up with different drills to get my student to do this? We're looking to be adaptive, but when we are working with teachers, when I'm working with a student, I'm wanting to make my adapting to really go over to the student and to see where are they stuck? What is their worry or concern? This is your job as the learner, as an adult learner, to really see, hang on, we're trying to do this thing over here, but where is the place that I am feeling stuck? Usually the place that we see the stuckness is about 10 steps away from where the stuck is really happening. The stuck is really happening down at some belief level, at some assumption, at some place that we're pushing, that we think we should be doing X, Y, and Z. So as a really good teacher, we want to be able to come in. As an adult learner, you can be looking for this too. Wait a second, where is it that I go from being at ease and knowing what I'm doing to tipping over to stuck? Resistance. This is where we need to be adaptable, to let go of all of our stroke drills and everything to find out, this is where we need to open up. Which takes us to our third one, which we see all the time on every list, is a great teacher is so patient. Now let me tell you, I hate this one. You know, when people tell me, oh, you're so patient, I think, no, I am not patient at all, because to be patient means that I have all of this restraint as the teacher. I'm showing all of this restraint, waiting for you as the learner to catch up to where you should be. This is not where I'm at, because I'm over there with you and I'm in your place, in your struggle, in your question. It doesn't require me to be patient because I can see what you're going through, and I know that's exactly the right place. I don't need to be in a rush. We don't need to make it happen any faster because you are doing the work. As a really great teacher, it's not about me slowing down and holding on and being patient. It's being in there with you in the journey. Back when I was teaching my children to read and we were reading the same books over and over again, or breaking down a word into smaller parts, I didn't have to be patient with them because I knew that was exactly the work that they needed to be doing. It was beautiful and wonderful, and we sat and we read for 10 or 15 or 20 minutes, and then they were done, right? And we'd let go of it and come back to it another time. I didn't have to force myself to slow down or to wish they would just get it because I believed in them. I knew they would get it. I knew with every little iteration of us sitting down together and engaging where they were ready for, that they would learn and expand at the perfect rate for them. No patience required. Same with our swimming students. The fourth one that we see all the time is empathy. And empathy is like to have a shared experience with somebody. Maybe you as a teacher, certainly me as a teacher, I didn't learn to overcome my fear in water as an adult. I can remember things certainly of having as a child. I never finished a swimming class. I didn't trust the instructors. I had to go learn in my own way. So I do share that. And there are other things in my life that I do have fear or anxiety around, or that are new or hard for me, or that I have to work to take care of my mental wellness while I'm engaging with them because I know it's going to expand my life. I do certainly practice all of those things in other areas. So even though I don't have the exact experience that my students have, so this makes me very empathetic to their situation. However, as a really good teacher, I don't want to just sit in this old story that we tell ourselves. It isn't useful for me or for my students to rehash a past experience and to tell it in a way that does not empower us forward. Now, I'm not going to help somebody transform a story in a way that isn't meaningful for them. But we are always looking for a way of seeing our own adaptability in it, how we were patient with ourselves, right? How we can communicate our own stories in a way that helps us grow. It's not that we're not wanting to experience discomfort of something or to acknowledge that something was definitely uncomfortable and unpleasant in the past, but we don't want to keep bringing that discomfort into the present moment. So it's not just about being empathetic, but it's about opening up the possibility of a new way of telling our story that is for our own growth, collaboratively. Now, you've actually heard me say lots of collaborative things in all of the other ones. So how are we going to turn the collaborative one upside down? It's not just the collaboration of the teacher and the student. It's the collaboration of all of my own parts in my brain and all of the students' parts in their brain. What? We have so many different voices in our brains, so many different roles of what's going on as an adult. This is why it's complicated and why we have to understand the mental steps of learning as well as the physical steps. But we have all kinds. We've got the protector part of ourselves. We've got the just do it part of ourselves. We have all these different kinds of voices in our brains, the performative part of ourselves. So it's not just the collaboration between this teacher and the student, but it's kindly and respectfully honoring the collaboration of our own lived experiences. How are we going to integrate the most fearful part of ourselves? How are we going to integrate the evaluative critic part of ourselves? How are we going to integrate the cheerleader part of ourselves? How are we going to integrate the pushy part of ourselves? The collaboration that we're doing is as much in our own heads and our own way of being as it is with the person that we're either teaching or learning from. When you're learning to swim as an adult, you are your own expert. You are your own teacher. Ultimately, it's really about developing trust in yourself, understanding of your body, and understanding of the water. It's the combination of these things that help you get all the joy and love and experience that you so desire in the water. Hop on in, come over, get an introduction. Teachers, come talk to me. If these are new ways of thinking about how you're going to meet your students and how you're going to help uplift their own trust and empowerment and ability to learn in the water. Aloha!